What is up, y'all? Today we are doing a rest day review. It is going to be a back and shoulders day. This is the workout we did yesterday, and I believe last week's rest day review was also back and shoulders, but I think we switched it up a little bit this week, so it's slightly different. And if you didn't see the last one, then you can watch this one. But it's going to be some similar ideas. I'll try to touch on other things that I didn't touch on the last video, and yeah, so let's get into it. We are doing some mag grip pull downs. This is for our lats. When you're doing this workout, I like to focus on driving the elbows down towards the ground and touching the grip to the top of my chest when I come down, and then fully extending at the top and controlling the weight going up. I do a couple warm-up sets, typically, especially when this is the first movement that I'm starting with. I like to do a really light weight, and then I'll bump it up. I think it was 75 pounds and then 100 pounds, and then I move on after that to, I believe, my working set, which is 160, and then I drop back down to 140, or it might be 140 down to 120, something like that. But the idea is 2 warm-up sets, 2 working sets. The working set should be to failure or very close to failure. I believe both of them I did take to failure, and what I consider failure to be is when you can no longer do the movement with the proper form you've been doing it with up to that point. So if you can no longer bring it all the way down to touch your chest and slowly control it going back up, when you stop being able to maintain that form, then you've reached failure. So you can see, I think this is my last working set here. We are going to bring it all the way down for each rep, touching the chest. You can't see that from this angle, but I am bringing it all the way down, and I'm focusing on that contact at the bottom, and as soon as I can't do that anymore, that is where I stop the set. Next, we are doing some cable rows, and the main idea for this one is focusing on driving those elbows back. I like to drive the grip that I'm using into my lower chest, so like kind of like where the I guess the bottom of your rib cage would be better. Lower chest might be a little too high, but whatever comfortably allows you to drive your elbows back as if you're driving them around your body and trying to squeeze them behind you. Now that we're warmed up, I just jumped straight into my working set, and then this is my second working set. Same idea, 2 sets to failure. I usually shoot for a 8 to 12 rep range. I think 6 to 12 is fine for trying to build muscle. Anything lower than that, if you're in the 5 and below, you're probably training more effectively for strength than you are for muscle growth. I'm sure you can still build muscle in that rep range, but with less reps and just higher amounts of weight, you're going to get pretty good at doing heavier weights as opposed to focusing on that muscle building portion of the workout. Which, if your goal is to put up big numbers, then on things like squat, bench, and deadlift, go for it. But for me, I'm just trying to build muscle. Actually, since I'm on a cut, I'm really just trying to maintain the muscle that I've already built, and I'm trying to get rid of the fat on my body to show it off. But yeah, next we have cable rows. For this one, I don't really like the rope extension that they have here, but this is what they had, so I used it. I bend at the hips a little bit, bend at the knees slightly, and I bring the cables down towards my waist when I bring them down, and I bring my chest up slightly. And then when I let the cable come up on the eccentric, the portion where the cable is coming up towards the its starting position, I like to go to where my arms are basically straight in line with my body, are pretty close to it, but not past that. And then I bring it back down. So that was our last back workout for that portion of the workout. And next we're doing some side delts. We're doing cable flies. Last week I think we did dumbbell flies, but this is effectively the same thing. The nice thing about the cable fly is that you can isolate one arm at a time. So I'm just doing the right delt right here, and then next I'll do the left delt. But it's nice because sometimes you do have some muscle imbalances. Sometimes the shoulder is stronger than the other, and you can do more with one versus the other. So this allows you to reach failure with both of them, and it'll also allow you to note if there is a difference between the two muscles. If there is a strength difference in the left or the right, you can tell better with this. This is also nice because it's more stable. I hold on to the post there, as you can see, and I lean away. And then when I'm actually performing the movement, my main focus is pushing that grip as far away from me as possible and coming as high as I can with that cable comfortably. Any more than that, and I kind of lose the feeling on my side delt, so I just bring it up there, basically to parallel with my other arm, if not past, and then I bring it back down with some controlled movement. I believe I was doing 15 pounds here for each arm. You don't have to go heavy on these. The main focus is you really want to make sure you're feeling that you're hitting that muscle when you're practicing these movements. That way, when you do go up in weight, you can make sure that you're not letting some other muscle group take over and you're actually hitting what you're trying to hit. And you'll notice that I set the cable right below my hand height. If my hands were hanging to my side, that's where it feels comfortable to me. Usually you want it around your waist or hand height when you're just standing there with your hands down by your side. So that's the way you want to set up the movement. Next, we are doing rear delt flies on the pec deck machine. This is to target the rear delt. So we just hit the side delt, now we're doing the rear. Very similar idea as the other one. When I'm doing this exercise, I scoot my butt back slightly on the seat. I push my chest forward so it's against the pad. And then I just focus all of my effort on moving my arms back with them sticking as straight out as possible throughout the entire movement. And I also try to go as far back as I can. I've seen some people go very far back just because they're flexible. I'm not. I go as far back as I comfortably can, and then I bring it back, controlling it. And as soon as I can't do that anymore, that's when I call the set. And these, I feel like this is one of those workouts where you kind of hit a wall. You have it until you don't, and then once you don't, it's just, you stop. But again, shoulders are easy to mess up. So start with a light weight, really get the form down, just practice it for a few workouts if this is your first time doing them, and then once you're more comfortable with them, then you can up the weight. I think I started with 85 for the first set, and this second set might have also been 85 because I got a decent amount of reps in for the first one. And now that we've had a few workouts in between my last back exercise, I do 2 sets of pull-ups to failure. That's just because I like how they feel. I like how I can feel my lats in them. I like how I can also see them when I'm doing the workout. So I like to throw these in on a back day, usually after a couple of workouts, past my main lat pull down exercise, just to get a good feel for them. Some people like to just do pull-ups as their main lat workout, which if you want to, you're more than welcome to. The main focus on this one is, of course, getting that chin above the bar, trying to not use too much momentum to get you past that bar, and then also controlling your weight on the way down, not just letting your body drop and going to failure like all of the other workouts. Next, I have a shoulder press with some dumbbells. I usually don't leave this until the end of the workout like I did on this day. I just ended up thinking like, oh, you know what, why not? I wasn't planning on doing these originally, but since this is a pretty big movement that involves your shoulders, but it also involves your arms, you can go pretty heavy with this exercise as opposed to the other ones where we're doing 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 85 pounds on rear delt, which is with both hands. This is a pretty energy sapping workout, so I would structure this as the first shoulder workout if you do plan on putting this in your routine. I believe we go up to 70 here. I think these are the 70s, and 70s are not as light as they used to be because I'm not as strong as I used to be. Since I've lost the 37 pounds I've lost, it's not as easy to do anymore. So I would definitely recommend doing this closer towards the beginning or the middle of your workout, depending on how you're structuring it. If you're doing shoulders first, then do this as your first workout. If you're doing back and then shoulders, do this as your first shoulder workout. Same idea, 8 to 12 rep range typically for your working set, and go to failure. But yeah, that is enough of me yapping. That was a chest. I don't know why I keep saying chest. That was a shoulder and back day, more back focused than shoulder. But we did hit rear delt, side delt, and the front delt with those 3 movements. And then we did pull downs, we did rows, and then we did pullovers and pull-ups for our back there. This gym doesn't have a lot of machines. I wouldn't mind doing like an underhand pull down, which you can do on where I did the lat pull downs, but there are machines that I like better for that, and they just don't have them at this gym. So I'm kind of just working with what I have. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of following the routine that I was doing before when I was on the bulk, I'm just doing it with less weight and just trying to be careful and doing it in that 8 to 12, 6 to 12 rep range. When I go in the bulk in the future, after I'm finished with this cut, I'm going to try to reassess my workout split. There are workouts that I definitely like, but I want to definitely hit certain body parts. Like I want to hit abs pretty hard. I want to hit my legs pretty hard. I want to hit my back pretty hard. So those are going to be the main focus on the bulk, and I'm going to restructure my program based off of those goals when I do go into the bulk. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that. That is something that's going to be coming. But otherwise, yeah, today's rest day was nice. This video from yesterday, I was 163 flat in the morning. So right where we ended last month, I kind of went up from there a little bit on my cheat days. So I finally evened out, came back down. So that was nice. And yeah, if you have any questions or any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can, or I can try to find out the answers for. And I'm also happy to, fulfill any requests that do come through. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.